Hello, I'm back with another copy edit, and today is a really good one because I love email marketing. This is an email sequence sent to me from one of my Underdogs Unleashed students. Underdogs Unleashed is my self-paced marketing course specifically for dog trainers, dog professionals, and dog businesses that walks you through absolutely everything from the start of your marketing, your messaging, right through to compiling your marketing strategy and implementation plan, and crucially, how to do it all. So, Davey has shared with me his email sequence, which is using the template from within Underdogs Unleashed. So, what we do with these emails is at the beginning, we're deciding on what's the purpose for each email, so that we can stay on track and make sure that we're taking people on a well thought out journey rather than just ticking a box of like, after somebody does this, I'm going to send them 3 emails without any kind of thought process behind, well, where are they? What are they experiencing? And what would I like to guide them towards thinking about doing? So this sequence is for people who have signed up to Davey's puppy classes, finished the puppy classes, and what we want to do is try and retain those people so that they go on to his intermediate classes, which are the follow-on classes. This is a really good strategy to have. So often we can kind of get into chasing new clients all the time, trying to find new people. And of course, if you run puppy classes, every 6 weeks, you do need a new influx of people. But actually, looking at how you can retain clients once you've won them for puppy classes so that they stay with you for the long haul is really important. Actually, it's increasing the lifetime value, all the effort that you're putting into your marketing to get people to you. The longer they stay with you, the better results they're going to get, the more help they're going to get, and the more income you're going to make, quite frankly, because you're getting a better return on your investment for your marketing time and effort. All right, so email 1 is to tell puppy class students about the next class. And this is going out 2 weeks after finishing puppy class. So my first feedback would be that I would send this sooner. I'm going to add a comment so that Davey can come back to this. I would not wait 2 weeks. So I would send this. I'm just going to leave it as that because I can't type and talk at the same time. We want to send this when they're hot. So they've finished their puppy class, they've done their graduation, or however you finish your classes, they're on a high, they're really happy, they've had a great time at your classes, they're really pleased with what they've done. And actually what we need to tell them is that your puppy is going to grow into an adolescent, and that is going to be very hard. So you might like to sign up for our intermediate classes. If we wait 2 weeks, that high that they had, that memory of what it was like being a part of your classes has dissipated. So I would send this immediately after puppy classes have finished, really. Like puppy classes finish on Friday. This goes out on Saturday morning, so that it's still front of mind. They're still in that space of, training's fun. I enjoyed it. My puppy's doing really well. I want to continue. All right, so subject, where's my cute puppy gone? Your guide to getting through adolescence. Absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with either of those. I might test something different here, just thinking about, okay, they've just finished puppy classes. Let's read through the copy in the email and see if there's something we can pull out, because often there is. All right, first name, how are things going with dog's name? Brilliant personalization. Make sure that when you upload this, you have a, if there is no puppy name, if somebody's subscribed and they haven't filled in your puppy name field, you're putting something else, your dog. So that's just a technical thing to be aware of. Hopefully you're making progress with all the things you learned in puppy class. Don't forget you can access the resources anytime in the puppy class Facebook group. Brilliant. I love the link reminding them to go to their class, to the Facebook group, encouraging that retention of community. You're probably thrilled that your puppy's teeth have been replaced by less sharp ones, toilet training is under control, and you start to breathe a sigh of relief as you realise the puppy face is coming to an end. I love that paragraph. It's so well written. So well written. The description of exactly what they felt, and they're like, brilliant, this is great. Only to discover that your puppy has now turned into a velociraptor. Welcome to adolescence. During adolescence, your dog might, and then all the symptoms that they might be seeing. I just a question for you, Davey, here at this point. Obviously, we're not having a two-way conversation, so something to think about. At this point, the age of their dog as it is biting. The suggestion of Velociraptor is that they're very bitey. Is that the biggest problem that people at this point are facing, or are they experiencing a dog who's suddenly not listening to them, or are we too soon for these things to be a problem? So if they've just finished puppy classes, the likelihood is they started at 12 weeks, 14 weeks with you. They've done 6 weeks maybe, or 4 weeks of puppy classes. So the puppy's about 4 months old. They might have a little bit of a gap before they're going to start having these problems. And so therefore, maybe what I would suggest actually, because this email is really good as it is, one, consider whether the velociraptor bit is the most accurate pain point. But two, actually, what I might do with this is make this email 2, and I'd have one before it. So I'd have email 1 be like a warning email. Not to scare them, but like a warning of what's to come. So we can set them up for the fact that, like, this is coming down the line. You are going to think that something's wrong with your dog. Everything's gone out the window. It's completely normal. But actually, if we continue putting in the work now, we can reduce the pain that will undoubtedly come as part of adolescence. So I would consider adding an email there for that. All right, I've gone off task, haven't I? Bullet points are brilliant. This is a really good way. People skim read. So breaking up your copy, and you'll see this as I go through this email sequence and show some other formatting tips mainly, because actually these emails are really well written. It's just some formatting tricks that can make them more readable. And these bullet points do that brilliantly. People will skim read them and be like, yep, that is me. How can you help me? With all that in mind, it's no surprise the majority of dogs are surrendered to rescues between the age of 6 and 24 months. That's a brilliant pain point. Like, this is the reality. I'd like to help you swerve that. I want you and your dog to stay together. That's why I've put together intermediate classes. I would link that, make that a link. People are often afraid of putting too many links in an email, but actually, like, people that don't want to click it will just skim past it. But the more you have, and you'll see this when you look at your email metrics afterwards, people click at different places. People are ready to take action at different places. No different to having numerous CTA buttons, call to action buttons through web pages. You can do the same in your emails. So don't be scared to put extra links in. They continue to build on your dog's recall, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, Davey, I've got no feedback on this other than it's brilliant. I would add one in before. So have this one 2 weeks after, have one that goes immediately after they finish classes. All right, let's look at email 2. We want to remind them about the classes, and this is 1 day after the last one. Most people recognise that puppy classes are important to attend if they have a puppy, but once they've finished classes, they stop completely and sort of bumble through their dog's adolescence as best they can. Imagine if we stopped educating our children at the age of 3. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I think this is your first email, actually, because this is your warning email. This is your, you've done puppy classes, you knew that was important, and now you think you're done. You're not done, and here's why. Okay, so now I want to show you some formatting tips that can really help. So if we think about the fact that people skim read, breaking up our copy is really important. So not having big blocks of big paragraphs like this, even though it's a short email, breaking things down onto new lines, not actually changing any of the copy, but just giving it space to breathe, can make a real big difference to people bothering to read it. So I'd bold this. Imagine if we stopped educating our child at the age of 3. The reason I bold that is because it's a really strong statement. It's something that helps it make sense to people. How much vital learning would they miss out on? What's that sort of teenage would they grow up to be if they were left to their own devices? Blah. blah. Okay, so we've got these like powerful shorter lines that people can skim through. You might italicize some of the key points to again just help that skimmability. And again, then this line is naturally the next thing you want to read. But if you only read the bold bits, imagine if we stopped educating our children at the age of 3. Thing is, issues often don't become a big problem until your dog is fully grown. By bolding these individual lines, we're making it easier for skim readers to kind of see what's the point and what's contained in each next bit. So you've explained that the problem's coming, and it's going to be a bigger problem than you anticipate. Your dog might be 4 months old and little now, but when they're fully grown and pulling on the lead, you're going to really wish that you bothered to do something. Cool. And then you've got your link to classes, which is brilliant. I might add a PS. PSs can be really powerful, particularly for people that just skim straight to the bottom. If you think you don't need more classes, don't skip Oscar's story, which I'll share with you later this week. So we're setting an expectation. I've already read email 3, spoiler alert, and I know that we've got a really powerful story coming. So let's kind of plant the seed about that, and so that people are interested to read the next email. You could make this stronger by putting a bit more curiosity about Oscar's story, something that would pull them in. All right, email 3. This is our last shot, really, at getting them to sign up for their intermediate classes. From deaf as a dodo to all ears and running back when called. I love that. It happened faster than you'd think possible. So again, great personalization here, and you've led with a question, which is a really powerful way it's a good hook to get people's attention. 9-month-old Oscar joined our intermediate classes where his dad felt like he'd hit a wall with him. This is future pacing. So like right now I'm sat here with my 4 or 5-month-old puppy after just finishing puppy classes. And now through Oscar's story, you're going to tell me what is potentially down the line for me in 9 months' time. And maybe that's what we pull in here to put more curiosity in. You know, at 5 months old, his dad thought he had everything covered. And then there's a line in here. Let's find it. He went from being so well trained to a complete ass overnight. I'm going to come back to that. I'm really bad at writing on the fly, which is not great for copy edits, is it? You get the gist. You're going to pull something in from there, from below, and put it here to encourage people to want to read the next email. All right, 9-month-old Oscar, he came to the classes and his dad hit a wall with him. He put in loads of work training him as a puppy, made really good progress, and then Oscar just seemed to switch off. This is that future process and future pacing, imagining what life's going to be like in the future. These people, this is where the people that have done your puppy classes are now. His dad went from being able to call him back from pretty much everything to absolutely nothing. Adding insult to injury, that also meant he started pulling his dog down the road to get to everything. Really visual descriptions here. I can imagine, being pulled down the road by this dog. Really, really well written. At last, he knew he had to do something. Again, we might look at trying to bold some of these pieces. And this I would link. So remember that we want to put links in as liberally as possible. And then we've got this great review, okay? And I love that you've put this headline in here. I only wish I'd found you sooner. Again, all I'm going to do is break this up to make it easier for people to skim read it. We have to accept it. People are skim readers. There is nothing you can do about it. Here we've got Murphy's mum, and here we're talking about dad and he. So just want to make sure that those things match up, whether you're going with the mum or the dad. Okay, now here we've got an offer of a free consult with no pressure to buy, rather than a call to action to book the classes. I would suggest changing this call to action to book the classes again. So, you can sign up now, blah, 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 and then add the link. And then I'd have this bit as a PS, right? So if they've got that far and they still haven't, we'll move that to the bottom of the email. So that they can have a conversation with you about it. All right, this has turned into a pretty long video, bit rambly. I hope that there's some helpful pieces in here. For me, I would be moving what was originally the second email to the beginning. So this is our, warning of what's to come. You think everything's fine. You're not going to skip your puppy turning into an adolescent. Then I'd have email 2, which goes out 2 weeks later. I think that's a fair time delay. And again, we've got those bullet pointed lists of here's what to come. And then our third email is our testimonial and storytelling with another link to classes. And if they don't sign up for that, then they could take up a free call. That's all. I hope that is helpful. If you would like a copy review of any copy whatsoever, and you are a positive dog trainer or have a dog business, you can share it with me via email at hello@thecaninecopywriter.co.uk, and I will be happy to do a copy review for you as part of the copy edit. All content will be shared here on YouTube, so please only submit content if you're happy for it to be shared. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below so that you can see future copy edits and over-the-shoulder reviews so you can learn how to be an awesome copywriter for your own business. See you soon.